Hi everyone. Hello, please confirm you can hear me, you can see me. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, hi, good evening. Thanks for joining. Please confirm you can see me clearly and you can hear me loud and clear. I'm excited already. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? Happy Sunday, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you've joined us from. Please confirm you can hear me, confirm you can see me. I want to be sure that I'm very, very audible. Hi, Joycey, good evening. I don't want to mother your name, but yes, good evening, good night, good evening, good evening. How are you doing? How are you doing? Good evening. Please let me know where you're joining from. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. Let me know where you're joining us from. And please share the link with others that should be here. Please share the link with others that should be here, those that have not joined, those that should join. Please let them know we have started. Go ahead to share it on your status and your stories. Share it with your network and everybody. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you. You can see me, you can hear me. All right, amazing. So, like I said, you're doing good from Jaws. Amazing. How is the weather in Jaws today? It's not so hot. How are you doing? How is the weather in Jos? And how is everyone over there? Interesting. Please share with others. Let them know we have started and let them come in with their questions. Interesting. So here we want to answer questions from the last session that I held 2 weeks ago, Sunday. Many people said, "Oh, they have more questions. They have more questions." So now you have the time to ask your questions. Right? I'm going to be attending to a lot of questions today. So go ahead. Um, you can start typing your questions. Please go ahead to start typing your questions. I'm just going to do a quick recap of what the masterclass is about. We talked about, community management as a career path beyond just, being an admin, beyond just managing, groups and people, right? You're actually managing an ecosystem. You're actually managing people, right? You are ensuring that people are getting value for the reason why they have joined your community, right? Also, we talked about that there are different engagement strategies, there are plans, there are things that you need to put in place to ensure that everybody that actually joins your community get the best out of it, right? So it goes beyond just sending announcements to the group, to the community. And then we also talked about that there are different types of community platforms, right? So your community can be hosted on any platform. It could be WhatsApp, it could be Telegram, it could be Discord, right? We talked about different platforms that we have. If you were at the session, do let me know how many of you here joined the Community Management 101 Masterclass. How many people? How many people? Amazing. I'm seeing questions already. So please go ahead to drop your questions and I'm going to spotlight your questions as I begin to respond to them. Or if you joined the last master class, do let me know and let me know what stood out to you in that whole session. What was the one thing that you learned and you really, really loved from that session? Let me know. And then as you're joining, go ahead to please subscribe to this channel and then like it so that more people can be aware that we're having this session. So please let me know what really stood out to you in that masterclass that we held. Now back to our first question. Let me begin to respond to questions. My question is about how to switch from my operations background, that is logistics, admin, and HR, to community management. Amazing, amazing. So first off, I want to say that you already have some basic, career skills as an operations person. You've dealt with, logistics. You've handled logistics. You've handled human because HR is pretty much human management, right? You're managing people. You're managing, the work, what are they called, the staff of an organization, their operations, right? So that means that as an HR person, you already have some level of people skill, Why? Because you are trying to ensure that the people that are working in that your organization are actually, making the best out of their time. You are employing the right people, you are putting in the right operations, you are putting in the right strategy for your staff to, work by, right? So coming from that background into community management, you already have transferable skill to an extent, right? So what you need to now do is to learn the nitty-gritty of community management. Now you already have transferable skill in terms of you have people skill, you have communication skill, right? So you have that interpersonal skill, and that is just one of like a lot of things needed as a community manager. So the next thing for you is to take the step further, right? And what is that taking that step further? It's by learning exactly what community managers do. Because in this situation, you are not managing staff. You are now managing people that have joined your community for a particular reason, right? And this particular transferable skill I'm talking about is one of the core things we'll be treating in the accelerator bootcamp, because we have a session that will help people to assess their current skill and then leverage it into becoming community manager, right? So if I were you, what I would say was that you would sign up for the accelerator bootcamp, because there you'll be able to learn the nitty-gritty of community management, how you can approach your tone for your community, how you can understand your members, how you can know the best way to drive engagement in that community. That's one of the things that you're going to be learning from the boot camp. So I hope that answers your question. As an admin person, as a logistics person, as an HR person, you already have some level of transferable skill, right? So what you just need to do is to learn what the core community management entails. And then, go ahead to get your first opportunity, which we are going to be helping you with, on how to even, work on your CV to make you job ready despite your background. I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers your question. How do you position yourself using your CV? That's the next question. Just very similar to where I stopped, right? Using your CV, of course, you need to have a very solid CV. And that comes from you understanding how to position your experiences, how to outline them, how to say the things that you have done, and even beyond just having the proper CV, it also includes being job ready, being interview ready, having the experiences and the skills, the things that you need to know how to even communicate your experiences well. I once interviewed someone, and even though the person's CV was really bulky, like they've done a lot of things, guess what, guys? This person did not know how to communicate their competence, which was very sad, right? Very, very sad. And I kept on asking questions that would, help that person to really, really bring into words the things that they have done. But unfortunately, the person could not articulate their words well, right? And that's one of the things that we're also going to be helping you with in the Accelerator Bootcamp. So, as a student of the Community Management Academy, you are not just going to learn what community management is about. We are also going to hold your hand, right, to help you work on your CV, your portfolio, and then make you job ready, so that you are not just saying, I've worked as an HR, I've done this, I've done that. You are actually understanding how to put it to words, right? So these are the things that we're going to be really, really treating and ensuring that all our students get the best of. Right. I hope that answers your question. So, for those that are just joining, welcome again and thank you for joining. The essence of this call, like I previously communicated, is to answer your question. So, go ahead to drop it in the chat, your question, things that you need clarity on regarding the community management as a career path, right? Regarding the accelerator bootcamp, regarding, how to revive communities and whatnot. So, go ahead now to drop your questions. We've already responded to two questions. So the recording of this session will be available to you in case you missed some of the questions that we have answered, right? So you can go ahead to listen again and then get value out of it. So go ahead now to drop in the chat and please share with others. Share with others. Seeing someone say that their network is bad. I think the network is bad generally because of the rain, the weather, right? Okay. So hi everyone. So go ahead to drop your questions in the chat. Whatever clarity you need, please go ahead now to drop it and then let's respond to your question. So while we are waiting more people's questions, while we are waiting your questions, guys, let me know if you joined the last masterclass that we held, right? And then from that masterclass, let me know what what questions do you have or what stood out to you in that class. How would you say that that class really helped your mind? How would you say that you found value from that class? So go ahead now to ask those questions. Drop it in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. So drop your questions in the chat. I'm reading your chat now, right? We've already answered questions on transitioning from operations background to community management. We've answered questions on how to position yourself with your CV, using the CV, right? So yes, let me know what other questions you have. Then I also want to ask questions, right? So let's make this more interactive. So a question I have, right, would be that I mean, for those of us that are community managers already, you're already a community manager. I want to ask a question because someone recently reached out to me on Facebook. That person got a job as a community manager, but they've not done, I mean, that person has not done anything solid in community management, but he got a job. Now, has that happened to you before and how were you able to navigate it? Let me know. You got a job, you got an opportunity, whether a volunteer role or you're being paid for it. You got a job as a community manager, right? And then you want you don't really know how to go about it. Has that happened to you and how are you able to navigate that? I want to hear from you guys. So you can drop your in the chat. You can drop it in the chat. I'm trying to see my chat. You guys should bring it up. Let's get this conversation rolling. Let's get this conversation rolling. And for those that are having network issues, oh my god. Interesting. Someone is asking, how easy is it to get a job as a community manager? Right, interesting. So I want to say something, right? Let me just pin that question. How easy is it to get a job as a community manager? Now, I don't know if anybody followed the recent trend on Instagram and Twitter where people are saying influencers are no longer delivering, influencer marketing is dying, all of these conversations. And for everybody that has shared their opinion on that subject matter, most of the solution, most of the things that they keep saying, and I'm so excited about it, right? Most of the things they keep saying is that people, business owners, influencers, brands, people should start having their own community. Now, what is that saying to you? Well, what it is saying to me is that there will be more demand for community managers. Matter of fact, the demand is already a lot, like right now. Currently, I have like three vacancies that we are trying to recruit for. We're trying to fill in community managers for that role, right? So there are always opportunities in this field. Now, as an individual, how easy is it for you to get that job? I'm going to say that it is highly dependent on your own job readiness. How ready are you? How ready are you? How skilled are you? Right? In order to get that job. So, for example, there is vacancy I'm creating. I have to look through CVs and I'm realizing that many people are not competent based on the kind of competency that we are looking for, right? So there are jobs. There are actually jobs. Matter of fact, most of these jobs are not outside. You won't find them in the public space. There are jobs that are coming on based off relationships. People reaching out to say, "Hi, Moe, I'm looking to hire this person. Please help me find so 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 and so kind of person." So you won't find these jobs on LinkedIn or anywhere. But how would I, Moe, that they are reaching out to, how would I recommend you? I'm going to look at how solid you are, how competent are you, right? And it is because of this competence gap that the Community Management Academy exists, to make you job ready, to ensure that you have, solid skill that can make you a good fit for this role. So I hope that answers your question. It is very easy to get the job when you have, enough experience, enough, competence, when you have the skill, when you understand it. I once hired a community manager, right, for a brand. And we realized later on that the person has not actually managed any community. The person does not understand our audience, right? And instead of the person, trying to drive engagement, having an engagement and a strategy, this person was just sending announcements, right? Which was not the goal of this community. So it is very, very easy when you are skilled, when you have the experience, when you have the skill, when you have the solid understanding to get this job. I hope that answers your question. All right, so we have another question here. Someone is saying, I recently saw a community management role where one person was expected to manage multiple platforms, create content, handle engagement, and grow the community all at once. Interesting. Okay, so the person is saying, from your experience, is that sustainable, or is it better to split roles across multiple community managers to maintain quality and avoid burnout? I like this question. Right. Now, okay, Bukola asked this question. So, Bukola, I'm sure that this role is a Nigerian role. Please confirm. Now, what I've realized is that in Nigeria, the labor market is always looking for ways to compress different responsibilities into one role. Why? Because they are trying to save costs, right? Now, to the HR of that organization, this is not bad because they are trying to save costs. However, what they fail to realize is that jumbling different roles or different responsibilities into one will not yield that effective result that they are looking for. Now, that is on their side. Now, on your part as a community manager, one thing I always tell people when they are looking for jobs is that even if you are desperately looking for a job, don't allow that desperacy close your eyes from asking the most important question, right? So you are trying to get a job, or cost of living, everybody needs jobs, and all that thing. Fine, that is very good. However, when you are reviewing the responsibility for a role you're applying into, it is very important that you do what you ask the required question. So, for example, I remember a job I was applying to at the time when I was still, managing social communities like public social media communities. And I told them point blank, they were looking for someone who could manage the communities, manage their social media platform, create content, and also design. I told them point blank, I can't design. Now, even if I understand the Canva basics, I cannot add design to my role. Why? Because it is not my expertise. It is not the area where I want to work. Right? Now, in terms of content creation, I will write. I can create videos for the brand, but I'm not going to write long form content. I communicated that as well. Now, what they had to do at first, it was like, oh, that's what we want. And I said, no problem. I mean, it is very fine. Now, as the community manager, I keep saying it, don't let that your desperate nature, lure you into something that you will regret later, where you will now start getting burnt out. In my own case, for example, the organization, after a long, back and forth, they had to bring in an intern to do the writing and then the designing, right? So I was not going to add it to my role. Why? Because I would not be productive in what I'm expected to do. So what I would say is communicate at the point of interview, or at the point, pretty much at the point of interview before you get the job. Because once you get the job, you have to do the job, right? So at the point of interview, communicate it very well and ask questions. All of these things that you have written, HR, is it just one person that is going to do? Is it just me? Is it just this platform? If they say, oh yes, ask them. The money that they are, the salary they are putting, does it align with your rates for that period or for that season, right? At that time, does it align with what you want to do? Ask questions. I think this is what I want to hammer on. Now, when you ask enough questions, then you ask them for their priority at the time. Now, people are beginning to make a mistake, jumbling community management and social media management. I think I differentiated this during the masterclass, right? So they are not the same thing. However, just like what we have established, HRs, recruiters, they always try to, mop these things together so that they can save costs, right? And it's costing them results. I like what this person is saying. He says they are saving costs and then it's costing them results. But they wouldn't look at it in that way, right? So you ask questions and then you communicate what you can do. If it aligns with them, fine. If it doesn't align, they can adjust, fine. And if they are not going to adjust it, I think it's just best to, take your lead from there, right? So Bukola, in my own experience, it is not sustainable. Sincerely, it is not sustainable. You cannot expect one person to manage 5 communities, let's say, across Discord, across Slack, across WhatsApp, across a Facebook group. It is not sustainable. It is not a good way to operate, right? So if it were me, I would ask that the company hires an intern alongside me, right? Or they clearly define the roles, the KPIs, what I'm expected to do. And then once I understand, if it aligns with me, fine. If it doesn't align with me, I do what? I dust my feet and I leave. I hope that answers your question. So for those that are just joining, thanks for joining, guys. So please, in the chat, go ahead to drop your questions. We are responding to questions. This session is just for questions and answers. You are going to get answers to your questions, right? So go ahead to answer, ask your questions. All right. So I was saying earlier that the community management accelerator bootcamp starts in about 13 days from now on the 6th of June, right? On the 6th of June. And the syllabus is really, really robust. I'm very excited about the class. The syllabus is really robust. We're going to start from the history of communities, the evolution of communities. We are going to treat all of that. We're going to introduce you to community management, proper content strategy for communities. You're going to understand it, how to, work on the accurate content tone, the style, the engagement plan that aligns with the community you're going to manage. I'm so excited actually. So yes, I think you should. If you have not signed up, please go ahead to sign up. People have already signed up, and in fact, like during the last week, 2 people reached out to me and said, "Can we start class already?" Like, I'm so excited as well, and I'm glad that they are more excited than I am. So please go ahead to sign up. And for everybody that stays to the end of this session, we got a sponsor. Remember that for those on the WhatsApp group, during the week, we gave out 2 sponsorship slots. Now we have another sponsor that is willing to sponsor 5 people on a 50% discount. So yes, I'm going to be sharing how should we do this? How should we do? Because we have a discount code. So I'm going to give you the discount code right here on the call. So those that are not on the call are going to miss out of that, right? But I'm going to share it towards the end of the call. So please stay tuned so that you can use your 50% discount. I hope nobody is going to inform others so that they don't come and use it. It's just 5 slots actually. So I would say that you use yours first, and then so people are having network issues. So I would say use yours first before you go ahead to share it with others. So I'm going to share the link. I mean, guys, please bring on your questions, though. Bring on your questions. I'm still answering questions. I'm still answering your questions. We're still answering your questions. All right. Yeah, you're excited. I'm excited for you too. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. The early bird discount expires tonight. It expires tonight. So go ahead to use the early bird discount. right? Alrighty. So I'm sharing the link in the chat now. Go ahead to use the 50% discount. It expires in 24 hours, so you better use it, like use it in time. Um, okay. So please write your questions in the chat, guys. Those that have missed this session have actually missed this 50% discount. All right. So I just shared it in the chat. Go ahead to use it. Go ahead to use it. Go ahead to use it. And I can't wait to welcome you. I can't wait to welcome you. Yeah, I can't wait to welcome you guys. All right. So do we have more questions? Do we have more questions, guys? Bring on your questions. If you have more questions after this, we're going to be responding to your questions in the Accelerator Bootcamp. So go ahead now to use your code and then sign up for the Accelerator Bootcamp. Right. There was a question answered. Joyce, do you have any question? All right. So I'm just going to give 5 to 10 more minutes for people to ask questions. And then the recording of this session will be made available to you. So please and please listen to it and understand. All right. So someone is asking an important question. I have a community where I manage on WhatsApp. The first couple of weeks was good, but all of a sudden the response dropped drastically to as low as one response per post, as against a couple more. Same strategy for engagement just dropped. What can I do? Amazing. Thanks for this your question. So it happens a lot of times, especially with not just with WhatsApp, but a new community. The excitement is high. You know, people are really pumped. Oh, I mean, depending on what your community is about, people are pumped. Oh, it's a new community. They are trying to make friends and trying to be known and all those things. It happens a lot of times, right? And when your strategy, so it could be, I cannot give a generic answer for this particular community because I don't know what your community is about. I don't know the kind of people in your community. I don't know what your engagement plan looks like at the moment, right? What your strategy looks like. So these are the things that we need to review one-on-one before I can tell you exactly this is what happened. But note that what you are saying, like, is actually a real issue in community management. However, what can happen, part of the things that can happen, and interestingly, we're going to be dealing with community engagement strategy, right? And how to even spark up conversations in communities, in dead or dormant communities. That's like one of the topics in the Accelerator Bootcamp. But what I'm going to tell you generally that you can do is that first off, you need to identify where the loop happened. At what point the people start, dropping off? At what point did the engagement start reducing? Is it at the beginning? Is it after they've joined? Is it after an event or what? Right now, once you identify that, you go back to your strategy to retweak it. Do you understand? But again, this also differs because I don't exactly know what your strategy looks like at the moment. So it could be that your strategy has actually been weak right from time, right? And it was just the initial energy that was making it look like the strategy was working. So you may need to rework your strategy or actually go and re-strategize, right? So if you don't understand, what your actual community member database, what their psychology looks like, if you don't understand them, you are not going to know how best to engage them, right? So I would say that I don't know what your name is, 3 Clicks Nigeria, but I'm going to say that go ahead, sign up for this boot camp, and I'm really, really going to prioritize working one-on-one with you on your community. Let's see how we can revive that community. This is one of the things that I'm excited about, right? And for everybody that joined this session, we are giving a 50% discount, courtesy of one of our sponsors, right? For 5 people. So I've dropped the link there. You can use it to sign up, right? I think that would really, really help so that we can sit one-on-one, and then I will help you look at your strategy and let you know what you need to rework in that particular strategy. Right. All right. You're welcome. Hi. Someone is saying good evening. Clever Peters. Hi. Good evening. How's the weather at your end? All right, please go ahead to questions. Share your questions. Let us know the questions you have. Your question can range from any area of community management and even questions about the accelerator bootcamp. Right? Someone reached out during the week to ask for, the content of the accelerator bootcamp. And while we are reserving that for those who sign up exactly, you should already know by what you have received freely that it is really, really loaded with a lot of value, a lot of benefits. It is for 4 weeks, 4 solid weeks. You're going to be learning, and then we are going to be practicalizing what you are learning. And then we are going to have a graduation ceremony on the 4th of July. And in this graduation ceremony, we are going to be giving out gifts to some of our students. And part of the gifts is internship opportunities for those that are starting out. So they are going to be getting internship opportunities, right? For those that, we are going to be giving out the mesh, the Community Management Academy mesh to some people. We are going to also be giving some other gifts that I'm not going to mention right here. So it is a lot already that we have put together for the Accelerator Bootcamp students. So if I were you, I'm going to just go ahead to use the 50% discount available to sign up, right? And the discount expires in, someone is pleading in my DM to extend it. So we are going to extend it for 48 hours. 48 hours. So you have that discount for 48 hours. So go ahead to sign up. Also, for those that have reached out to say payments, the money is an issue for them, we have an installment payment plan. We have an installment payment plan. So just use the installment option to sign up, right? Use the installment option to sign up. And then I just really can't wait to welcome you guys into the session. So class starts on the 6th of June, and then registration closes on the 5th of June. Yeah. So go ahead to sign up before then, and then I'm going to see you in class. All right. So more questions, more questions. We have 5-10 more minutes for questions. We have 5-10 more minutes for questions. Alrighty. For those that that should be on this call and are not here now, please reach out to them. Please go ahead to reach out to them. Reach out to them, and let's have more people join, and let's have more questions answered. Amazing. All right. So I'm just going to wait for 5 more minutes for our questions, and then right after that, please note that the recording of this session will be made available to you. You're going to get it via email. You're going to get it on the group, or on the WhatsApp group. You're going to get it, right? So you can listen again. We've answered different questions. I'm just going to spotlight the questions that we have answered. This first person is asking about transitioning from another role into community management. We've answered that. This question is about positioning yourself using your CV, right? We've also answered that. We had another question on how easy is it to get a job as a community manager. We've answered that as well. Here is another question talking about different roles in community management, different roles being worked up together in a job vacancy, right? And she's asking that it is sustainable, right? So this is another question we had on. All right, so this person is saying the initial momentum when people join your community and they are all excited, and then suddenly it looks like things are nosediving. What could be the problem, right? We've also responded to this question. The same strategy or engagement has dropped. What could be done? So I hope that you really, really found this Q&A session insightful, guys. Let me know in the chat if you found it insightful. Let me know which of the questions you found most insightful and which of the response really stood out to you. And then if you're going to be signing up for the Accelerator Bootcamp, just drop an emoji. Let me see your excitement emoji. The excitement emoji. Excitement emoji. Let's see it in the chat. Let's see your excitement emoji in the chat. Amazing. I can't even wait to welcome you guys. Let's have more people join, and then let's have people learn and get access to these opportunities. I'm so excited. All right, amazing. I think at this point we want to call it a wrap. You guys no longer have questions, right? But if you have questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. But from henceforth, we're going to be prioritizing those that are in the bootcamp so that they get a lot of wholesome value, a lot of wholesome value. Amazing, amazing. This person is saying, I found the session interesting, especially about the work readiness part, that makes things feel a lot better. Yes, it makes you feel a lot better. There are actually opportunities, guys. I'm not even going to lie. There are lots of opportunities. There are lots of opportunities for you in community management, right? So you just need to really, really be job ready. You need to get the needed knowledge. You need to get the needed knowledge. You need to get, the needed strategy, understanding, knowledge, right? And this is what we are going to be treating in the accelerator bootcamp. So we have 50% discount for 5 people. Go ahead to use that link that I've put in the chat. I'm just going to spotlight it now and then use this promo code, coupon code rather, save 50. Use it to get the 50% discount. It's just for 5 people, right? And it's just open for 48 hours. So go ahead to use it. There's also the installment option that you can use to sign up for the Accelerator Bootcamp. So guys, I cannot wait to welcome you into the Community Management Accelerator Bootcamp. Thank you so much for joining this session, and we're going to meet on the inside, right? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. If you have more questions, feel free to send an email. Feel free to drop it on the group, right? And then we are going to respond to you from there. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Do enjoy the rest of your evening or your morning or your afternoon, wherever you are. And yes, I'm excited to. Okay, I can't wait to welcome you to the call. Ufai Bondon. I'm not sure I pronounced your name well, but I'm so sorry. But yes, I see your emoji. I can't wait to welcome you as well to the boot camp. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you in the boot camp. Bye. Bye, guys. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Bukola, for joining. Thank you for joining.